So what is happening, people? Hey guys, today we at the lake. We at Hyco Lake. It is September the 2nd. We hadn't been down here in about 2 weeks. We've got to figure out where the fish are. I'm gonna make 2 videos today. And I had an email come in from Mark and Vicky, and they wanted to know how to get back to a waypoint on their Helix 5 unit. Well, I don't of course have that unit, but I'm gonna do that on my Garmin unit. Now, many of you out there watching this video already know this, but a lot of folks may not. There's a lot to learn on these electronic units. There's a lot that I had to learn, and there's a lot more that I need to learn on these. So I'm going to turn the GoPro around now, and I'm going to show you how we're going to go up the lake a couple of miles, and I'm going to show you how I get right to a waypoint close enough that I can either ride over it, or normally I stop out about 100 feet, shut the boat down, and approach it with the trolling motor. So let's turn the camera around and let's get started. Good grief. Good old crappie right there, boy.
That's a nice one. Yes, sir.
Boom! So of course, when my unit comes up, I have it set to where it comes up on side scan. But you're sitting in the cove. You can see we're just at the ramp. So somewhere on your unit, you'll have a lake map. Somewhere to give you a lake map. So you just have to find it. Right here, we got fishing charts, a combo, and charts. I like my fishing chart here, so I'm gonna press the fishing chart here. Now you notice here in the bottom right, and I don't know how other people's unit is, that's looking out like 300 feet. So let's back this out. So I can continue to back it out. We can see the bridge here. We can back it on out. So I have my lake chart set on number 3 here. So if I press number 3, it automatically switches to my lake chart. So you can see the road, you can see the lake, and you can see this little boat icon right here. That's me. Okay, let's go up and fish a favorite spot of mine. It's up the lake, right up here at this spot right there. Right off of that point there, you can see it. So at this point, I can see, because I have a lot of points marked on this lake, whether they're stumps, brush, maybe schools of fish that I've found holding on a creek channel or something like that. I have a lot of marks, and you'll get to the lake once you have a lot of marks. Like if I go to Kerr Lake and I'm down in Grassy Creek riding along, I'll go past marks, maybe in a cove that I marked, 2 or 3 years ago, and I may or may not fish them. But I'm going to go to that specific point and that mark there just to demonstrate how this works. Let's get started. Now, because I know this lake good, and if you know close to where your waypoints, are, I can look at the bank. This lake has a lot of docks, so I can get fairly close just by looking at the shoreline or a particular dock to that waypoint. But we're going to follow on the boat. Now at this point, we're going to follow the boat. We're going to hit the plus button. We're going to zoom back in, and you'll see I like to look out about 500 feet. And you see at 500 feet, I can see my boat coming out of the cove. Boom. And we can watch that nose of that boat turn and start up the lake. Here we go. And you notice how the map is orientating itself. We're still on 500 feet. Now at 500 feet, I'm gonna zoom back out. So we are at 800 feet and we can look further up the lake. Let's see the lake channel. But 500's fine. So let's go on up the lake. We follow this icon right there. That boat icon, that's us going up the lake. I'm gonna run this real time. Okay, so I'm going to slow the boat down just so I can talk to you. See, we're still at 500 feet. So let's zoom in. Now you see where it is on the screen? So I like to zoom in. Now I'm at 300. I'm actually at 300 feet right there. Boom. So I like to be able to see when I'm trying to find a spot. I like to be able to see I'm gonna go to this little group right here. So I like to be able to see the boat and see the structure at the same time. Now let's zoom on in. Now we're at 200 feet. Now usually at 200 feet I can keep the nose of the boat and go directly to the fish. And if you notice, I have several details marked on this particular spot here. We at 200. You notice I'm keeping the nose of the boat. Notice I'm keeping the nose of the boat. We're following the nose of the boat right here on the icon. So we're going to throttle back. And you notice, see how long this is? That's about 1 inch long. Now watch, I'm going to zoom down. I'm going to zoom in, sorry. So now I'm at 120 feet. So you see the length of this bar here? That length of that bar is 120 feet. So you can look between the boat nose and that mark and know when it gets to that length, you're 120 feet away from the point. See, we still easing up to the point here. Now we can zoom in again and we are 80 feet to the point. Boom, right here. Now, at this point, I'm going to stop the boat because I'm right here on the point. Boom, right here, just like this. Look here, I'm 80 feet. Now, at this point, I could continue to go across the point, or I can deploy my trolling motor. So you can see we are at the point right now. I am about 80 feet away from the point. Now, if I wanted to put it on down scan, or I wanted to look on 2D sonar, I could switch my unit over to that and ride over it to see if it was fish, say if it was bass or walleye holding on a drop off, or crappie, or whatever it is. At that point I could idle over it, but crappie sometimes will be high in the water column, so you don't want to go right over them. You're better off deploying the trolling motor and using the trolling motor to get closer to sea. But anyway, I hope that helps you guys out there. That's kind of how I've learned to do it. That's how I do it. That's what works for me. Whatever works for you. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you've seen something that helped you. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button below. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all the subscribers that we get for the channel. Remember, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Click the like button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss an episode of Wildlife Adventures. And as always, you remember, it's a wildlife, and I'll see you on the water.